Everybody, how's it going? There's something I wanted to say a little bit about today, and that's all the talk we're hearing about, like a digital ID. They've already got these, or they're going to have them in the UK. And people's talking about the possibility of them coming to the US, and I think they probably will at some point. We've already got this Real ID system in. They started talking about that like 20 years ago. They finally got that in. It's voluntary right now. You get it. You don't have to get it. I don't have one. I don't want one. To me, there's just too much of your information going into a database on that Real ID, and even with a digital ID. There's just too much of your information going to be going into a database. You don't know who's going to be looking at it. There's the threat of hackers getting into it. To me, it's a risk of your personal information and just privacy risks. And that's why I don't want any part of it. I think that it will probably become mandatory at some point. And I think you may even see a federal ID come about at some point in the future that you'll have to have, and then all your information will be in a federal database, which is going to be as bad, if not worse, than being just on a state level. That's one of the things that I'm concerned about. The other thing that we're hearing about is a digital dollar, digital currency. If that ever comes about, that'll be the end of your privacy, the end of your freedom. And with our economy the way it's going, our dollar is losing value. They're up in Washington just printing money, throwing it into the economy. That's the only thing that's keeping us going at this point. They're throwing money into it. And it's not sustainable. And at some point, we're going to have an economic collapse. It's inevitable. It's going to happen with things going the way they are. And when that happens, I think then you may see a digital currency come about, a digital dollar that will replace what we have now. At that point, our greenback, your change, it'll be relics. You won't be able to use it anymore. The stores, there won't be any cash registers in the stores. That stuff will be relics. It'll be useless. You have to have your digital dollar, your digital currency, to be able to buy anything or pay any bills. You hear people talking, they think it's going to be a chip, an implant that goes in you, and it may be at some point. It may start out something like a debit card that you'll use. I don't know. But I think that's a system that we're going to be seeing at some point in the future. We're really being moved in that direction now. A lot of people use debit cards, credit cards. They've got paying bills out of just, comes out of your bank account, pays the bills directly. You don't have to write a check or do anything. People have direct deposit. Their paycheck goes straight into the bank. They're really getting us moving toward a cashless society. It's like baby steps moving us in that direction. And I think the ultimate goal is going to be the day when we have a cashless society, a digital currency. At that point, if we get there, they will be able to know literally everything you're doing, what you buy, where you buy it, when you bought it, how much you bought. It's all going to be in your account, in that database. They'll be able to see all of it, exactly what you're doing. That's going to be the end of your privacy. The other thing, though, that I'm surprised I'm not hearing more people talk about this, is the fact that if you are on a digital currency, a digital dollar, and maybe you criticize the powers that be, maybe you're critical of them, you don't like what they're doing, you speak out against them. and they decide that you need to be taught a little lesson, you need to be silenced. It would be a very simple task at that point for them just go into your account, push a few buttons, click a mouse a time or two, and lock your account. And then what are you going to do? They might lock you out maybe 3 days for the first offense. You get locked out for 3 days. You can't buy food, you can't buy gas for your car, you can't pay your light bill or anything, maybe 3 days for a first offense. You speak out again, criticize them, maybe next time, maybe it'll be 5 days, maybe 10 days. That would be an excellent way to control the population, to keep you in line. Just shut you down where you can't buy anything, you can't do anything. If they feel the need, they may shut you down. Eventually, it may be for 30 days that you sit there for a whole month without buying food, buying gas, can't pay bills, can't make a house payment, car payment, whatever you've got, you can't pay anything. That would be an excellent way. That would be an excellent way to control the population, just shut you down financially. And they could do that with a digital dollar. And that's something people need to be aware of and be concerned about. And that's like I say, I'm surprised I'm not hearing more people talk about that, because it could be a reality. And that's something that we need to be aware of. It's a system that I think will come someday in the future. I don't know when. We need to resist it. Try to stay out of as long as possible. We need to be getting set up, be as self-reliant as possible, self-sufficient. Get a community of like-minded people, because there will probably be like a barter or an underground economy, like a barter system that will develop. A lot of people will probably be bartering goods and services back and forth to try to avoid that system as much as possible. But, if you won't be able to avoid it entirely. If you own property, there's going to be property taxes to pay. You're going to have to pay that. You won't be able to avoid it entirely. But, people need to be getting ready, getting prepared, because I just think these things are coming at some point, maybe a few more years down the road. But I think they're coming, and we need to get prepared, be as self-sufficient, as self-reliant as possible. Get a community of like-minded individuals that you can work with, that will work with you. I need to be doing this my own self. I'm not where I'm at right now is not where I want to be. I need to be doing this myself, and everybody else needs to be doing this, because I think these days are coming in the future with, like federal IDs, digital IDs, and digital dollars. I believe it's coming. And we just need to be getting ready, know what's coming, and be getting prepared as best we can. I appreciate y'all watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. That'll help the video. If you know somebody might be interested, share the video with them. If you want to, hit the subscribe button. Help out the channel a little bit. I thank y'all for watching. Just be ready, be prepared, and take care.